Hi everyone, it's Stats Sean again, and today I'm talking to the camera. And that's because I have four more awards left to cover, except here's the thing. Frankly, I don't care about any of these four. I don't think managers should have an award when we have no idea who actually makes the moves on each team, or even if they come from higher up in the league. Most dedicated shouldn't have fan input, it should just be appointed by Kyle, or better yet, go to Kyle every year. Most clutch will always just go to someone who hit home runs in the playoffs. And most improved feels kind of mean-spirited in a year like 2025 where all of the candidates are bounce backs instead of breakouts. But I'm a completionist, so I'll present my ballots anyway, and at least give some justification for why I would have voted how I did. I went with Chris Cheatham for Manager of the Year. I suspect he'll be the actual winner too, but for the wrong reasons. People will point to how the Gators went from missing the playoffs to getting to Game 5 of the World Series as the number one seed, but they actually only improved by 2 wins in the regular season. I picked Cheatham because of how he handled a deep roster. I admire how he batted all five all season, just to figure out who he should start in the playoffs. His willingness to go to Stags in big games after 4 career innings pitched also impressed me. I think he used his roster better than anyone else in 2025. After him, I put Norp at 2 for his drafting of Sullivan and quick recognition that Sully should be in the batting order. In third, it's Tommy because of the move to pitch Jorgie in the World Series. I also considered Cratch and Warda for that matter, for the Drew and Esh trade, but given the return, I suspect that trade was more the result of Drew requesting to go to the Preds than any shrewdness from their front office. Most clutch is Preston Combe. He drove in the go-ahead run in every Mallard playoff win. Can't really get clearer than that. In second place, I put Robles, who pitched 8 shutout innings while facing elimination. As for third place, it could have been about a half dozen different guys. I settled on Sawyer Bean because of the stuff he showed in World Series Game 5. Yes, he lost that game, but having your nastiest stuff in the biggest moment says clutch to me more than anyone else's moments. I will address Chadwick here specifically because I'm sure he'll be a popular pick. If his semifinal had been his World Series instead of the other way around, I would have put him on here. But for most clutch, I go off contributing to a championship, which to me means mostly going off of the World Series. I've said this before, but I view Most Improved as a breakout award. There were no real breakouts in 2025. However, on the actual voting sheet, Kyle did specify 2024 to 2025 as the criteria for this year, so I'll just take that at face value. With that established, Jackson Pearson is the easy call. He went from more than -1 pitching WAR to +2, 3-win improvement. The runner-up, Chris Cheatham, also took a huge jump, from negative batting WAR to 2, the fourth most in the league. My third place pick is the surprise here. I think a lot of us have forgotten that RJ was merely the sixth best pitcher in 2024, and for most of the season was just about average. And now this year he was back to breaking out and being a Cy Young favorite. Kyle should win Most Dedicated every year. I don't think he's allowed to win it, or else he probably would. That's never been publicly confirmed. I'm going to continue to vote for him every year until they say something that he's not eligible. Kyle Schultz is MLW. The league can't exist without him. Among probably eligible players, though, the reigning champ, PB, who still edits the podcast, puts out the short form content, and played on a blown out knee, is the winner. Cratch nabs the third spot for me because he really did a great job after being unexpectedly pressed into service as a commentator and seemingly a second in command figure for the league. Honorable mention to Dustin Staggs, who, from my understanding, pays his own airfare from California to play in MLW.